Hello, everybody. Today I'm in Mobile, Alabama, and I'm going to fly around and I flew around in here earlier with the 2024 sim, and I came down here to take a look at 2020, and quite a bit of difference. Actually, there's a lot of difference. So we're going to head from the Mobile City Airport. We'll head right to downtown, which you can see the high rises. See these other planes sitting here on the tarmac. Oh man, that guy just ran right through that one. But in 2020, I've got other airplanes, I've got trucks and catering services. I've got all the typical airport vehicles and planes you want, commercial airliners, logos, all that stuff worked on this one, 2020. It doesn't work on my 2024 because it has not brought over any of my add-ons for scenery or um, adding aircraft around the world or whatever, uh, like I have on here. So it brought it over to 2020, I mean 2024, and it was on there for a short, maybe a day or two, and then they removed it, disabled it, said it can't be used yet. So, I guess there's things that got to be done. But I actually did use some of the scenery add-ons for a day, and it worked fine. But then the next day, they disabled it, and then eventually, I can't even use it. So the only thing I do have on 2024 are my airplanes, but I can't put any pilots inside of them, like 2024. I mean, you can't put your pilot inside of them. Um, so you're flying around in most of the 2020 aircraft with it's crewless. Kind of looks like a ghost plane. So I flew here earlier, and I went down the docks here, and I'm not really seeing that big of a difference, to be honest with you. I've flown it over a couple times. I've been looking at the ships, uh, the dock areas, and stuff like that. Very, very similar. I mean, pretty daggone similar. Details is slightly different in 2024 because of the trees, but these don't look that bad, I don't think. So so here's over the I'm sorry about my voice. I apologize for all the breaking up. Just having a problem with it. But here's the center city, and again, there's not a whole lot of difference between them. But I will say this: these buildings are not blurry. These houses down here in the trees are not near as blurry as they are in 2024. I mean, 2024, it's almost like I need to put a pair of glasses on or something. I mean, you're just kind of wiping your eyes and going like, man, are my eyes as blurry? But that's the way it is. So I don't know what their fix is for that or whether they're going to even fix it. But this is clear, much, much more clear. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the USS Alabama. Beautiful ship on the docks here, museum, open to the public. I flew over this one in the 24, and the whole gamut over here was hot pink tiles, polygons, hot pink. So it wouldn't even render in. But here on 2020, you can see pretty good detail of that ship. Now, granted, a lot of the extra stuff around the yard and things, they're not super duper detailed, but you can make it out. But look at this ship, very detailed. I could not do anything with it on 2024. It was just that bright, super bright, hot pink panels and lines, and it was just horrific. Nothing else in this entire area was like that, just the ship. So I don't know what kind of conflict I would have in 2024 that would cause that, because I don't have any add-ons on 2020, and I'm not going to get any unless Microsoft decides to bring them over, and the developers that made those, if they're going to make them compatible with 2024. Since the update yesterday, the big update, my 2024 has crashed at least 5 or 6 times. It never crashed at all after the first day I loaded it. And I was able to load that thing in like 12 minutes on the first day. I was flying a couple hours later after I got my mapping done on my flight controls, just enough that I could fly. But I didn't have any crashes at all. Now it's crashing. It's already crashed on me like 3 times today. This was after the update. The other thing is, I could load up Flight Sim 2024 in about 2 minutes, turn it on. Now it's 4 minutes, just a little over 4 minutes to get it to load up since the update. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's awful similar to what was going on with 2020. They would put an update out and things would screw up even more, or some things would get fixed and other things would break. And that's already what I'm seeing because of the crashes I'm having. So I'm really just not a big fan of 2024 yet until they fix a lot of this stuff. Uh, with my Xbox, it's not any fun to be flying around the airports with generic yellow and white or the Neo blue and white airliners. That's all you see on the Xbox because it won't, or it hasn't loaded up my add-ons to give me all the other planes that 2024 can use in my system. So it's just kind of boring. There are absolutely zero ground crew on my 2024. I have nobody standing on the tarmac. Every now and then I'll see a tug and it'll have a person in it, but there's nobody walking around. There's nobody doing anything. So it just looks super dead uh, on the tarmac. It just looks really strange. Now, granted, a lot of times before they were everywhere, so walking into your plane, walking through your props. I understand that kind of kills immersion. Look at these train cars down here. They look pretty daggone good. That's pretty daggone clear. You can even make out the locomotives, which before, earlier in 2020, you couldn't. They were just, you couldn't make them out. But look down there now, you can see the engines fairly clear. And no, there's no name tags over the ships or anything like that, which is not a big deal to me. I've got ships uh, on this particular 2020 as an add-on, so worldwide. So I have ships everywhere. So I don't need name tags on them, and to watch them go around circles. So yeah, it's I'm just not really impressed, even though I am able to fly, and I went through the career mode. That didn't take that long, except for you got to keep making money to get certs, and so you keep flying little tiny missions until you get enough money to get your certs. But that was fairly simple and really unnecessary, I think. I mean, I did it because it was there, and I did notice that when you're flying career mode, there is visible, a lot more visible on the tarmac, um, whatever. But it's because they put it in there for specifically for the career mode. But in the free flight mode, it's just not there for me. I mean, the airports are just dead. Um, the only airplanes I can get to come up on my 2024 as say like my home airport, which is just a small county airport, are the planes that I have in my inventory. That's all I'll see pop up if I'm lucky. Most of the time, it's just there's no planes. And if it is, it's the big yellow and white or the Neo um, Airbuses and stuff like that. No logo, no airlines, none of that. So that makes it kind of boring for Xbox users because we there's nothing we can do about it until uh, these add-ons are brought up to speed to be able to be compatible with 2024. So as far as spending money on the add-ons for 2020, I'm not worried about that. I mean, it's on this system, and I can use it all the time. So I didn't lose out any money. A lot of guys are mad because they're like, "Well, I spent that money on the add-ons, and I can't use it on 2024." Well, that's not what you bought it for. You bought it for 2020. Let's be reasonable about it. Um, and you probably should have known it wasn't going to work on 2024 until the developers make it that way. So, all right. Well, anyway, we've flown around Mobile enough here. So, but I just wanted to say, just a, it's a slow progress and pretty slow, a little too slow for me. So again, I'm continuing to fly 2020 much more than 2024, much more. It's just more enjoyable for me. So, all right, well, that's enough of me moaning and groaning. I hope you guys have good luck with yours, 2024 loads and builds and whatever. I hope it all comes around for all of us. But yeah, enjoy your flights. Talk to y'all later.